Good morning, Saurabh sir and Rahul sir. Thanks for being such a wonderful and a charismatic leader. And thanks for providing me this opportunity for presenting my vision of the creation and the management of the next big global wave. We want India to emerge as the global leader of the urban utilities integration and management wave. Urban technology, we can call it urban technology. We all know that in the world of economics, superstars do not merely plan to ride a wave. Nations create, ride, and manage and lead a wave and pave their way to economic superstardom. We have to create the next big thing. 130 crore people are a world in itself. If 130 crore people can consume, buy something, that can become a world trend. One in every six people in the world is an Indian living in India. So we have that tremendous power of market. Who but us can create a wave? If we can create a demand, a large scale demand for something, and we are able to cater to the same, we would have created a wave. Let's look at how our homes and offices have been penetrated upon. Desktop has been taken over by Microsoft, Apple. Mobile has been taken over by Android and such companies. Socialization by Facebook, Twitter, Insta. Industry has been taken over by SAP. But there is this one big area, urban utilities, urban infrastructure, urban utilities management, where there is no single dominant player. If we say that there is this big smart city in the world where everything runs on IoT or is controlled, can we recall a single name? That space is still undominated by a single brand, a single company, or a single solutions provider. That is a space that we have to look at to make India emerge as a global leader. Intelligentsia of the European, Indian, South Asian world has seriously got into preventing the polarization of IoT, just like it happened in mobile data, communication, and so many other technologies like computing. The field was completely dominated by one or two parties. So now people have woken up and they are trying to do something which will prevent this polarization and non-standardization. For example, Windows is a completely non-standardized product. So they are trying to work it out in such a way that there will be a level playing field for anybody to enter in and do something for the better. So the one M2M highlights is that it is against any vendor lock. So it is a completely standardized platform and non-monopolistic. The aim is to prevent monopolies, and this is also being aimed as a counterbalance against US's and China's monopolies. So this was actually told to me by was presented as a presentation. This aspect of counterbalance as the first presentation in the plenary session of the 1M2M International Conference, which was held recently around a year back in CDOT. Fortunately for India, we are already ahead in the race. We are one up. One M2M platform is an ideal urban utility integration package where India as a country has taken a lead. India has developed one M2M common services layer at CDOT and has taken major strides in its standardization. No country in the world, no government agency in the world has developed this one M2M common services layer, but CDOT of India has done it. India enjoys big support from EU, that is European Union, UK, and some other countries. They are really appreciating India for the lead taken in this. Many such conferences have happened where on this ICT platform and standardization, India and EU have collaborated. It has happened in India and abroad. So we have to now briefly look at what is one M2M. I'm trying to be very brief. There are multiple applications like home application, traffic, health, emergency services, so many other applications which exist as silos. One M2M, this is the one M2M layer, this entire thing. It provides an option to end this silo and bring a service layer in between which can provide interface between these application. That is, inter-application interface can be provided through this one M2M layer. To put it in very simple terms, this one M2M layer, this is the one M2M layer, which provides an interface between multiple systems, like for example, traffic, surveillance, fire protection, or hospital management, hotel management, and this provides an intermediate layer such that the data can be accessed by the application of that particular system and also by application of other systems. Like if there is a fire, the police and hospital have to be alerted. So I have taken here the case of our fire protection system because we are experts in that. So fire protection has smoke detection, portable extinguishers and hydrants. So the information from the one M2M platform which is collected goes to all the people, including from the Prime Minister or Chief Minister level to the AMC contractor and product manufacturer, maintenance agencies. Everybody share the relevant information based on access controls. And this information is also available for hotel, hospitals, ambulance, police, etc. So this is one M2M in brief. It provides an interface between multiple applications through a common service layer, which is highly standardized, data secured and controlled. So one M2M platform can, for example, I'm just giving you a snapshot, integrate water and sewage, electricity, fire protection, residential building automation, home automation, commercial office building automation, traffic, emergency services, renewable energy footprint, street lighting, CCTV monitoring, pollution monitoring, transportation services, police, big role. And then there is a big role for AI and analytics because the display itself is considered to be a separate activity. The manufacturer of the system doesn't dictate the display. Since the data is kept in a server, anybody can take that data and display it in the way he feels or needs. So we have seen India trying to do a big job in smart cities, but in smart cities, what happened is the urban utilities was not segregated from e-governance, and that created a lot of confusion. Most of the smart city projects, urban utility projects, got confused as e-governance projects. So that kind of diluted the smartness of cities. So what does this require? Suppose someone wants to be the leader, like Microsoft is on desktop. Someone wants to be the leader in urban utilities integration, aggregation, and management. What would be the ideal situation? We need one M2M common service layer with 50 to 100 partnerships with urban utility solution provider. Providing the server and the software for interface is one thing, but we need those service providers like sewage equipment, water treatment equipment, swimming pool automation equipment, home automation equipment, electricity management equipment, power management equipment. So we need these 100 or 200 or 50 people, 50 companies who are specialists in that domain to bring that data onto to first of all put up the right equipment and then bring that data onto the service layer. Then we need a data center which has high credibility because all this data will be stored in the data center. And this data is the new oil. Major tech player in the communication space. So to get all this integration happening, we just cannot depend on GPRS, that is mobile telephony. We need multiple other modes like Wi-Fi. So many other technologies are required to access, to kind of accumulate this data or access this data and bring it to the data center. Standardization enforcement. So only if we are discussing on in theory that we will do this, etc., unless we create a standard and that standard is enforced, the people who have worked in this product line or in this solution will not be able to see a market. We need 50 or 100 partners operating out of the same premises so that they can offer joint solution and continuously upgrade the same. Imagine we have this 50-60 solution providers sitting under almost one roof and operating to create the best ideal solution for urban utilities management, and they improve it every day, sitting together, strategizing. And we need a great brand with legendary capability. No city, municipality, or government will simply hand over the city to some non-trustworthy player. So we need a great brand with high credibility. So in the ideal situation, we need all this. A company who wants to dominate the space will need all these angles for successful implementation of a urban utility integration package. Of it. So CDOT has already made the common service layer. This is a major advantage. ITI has the potential to hold 100 vendors operations and contribute majorly in product design, testing, quality assurance. This is another very big major advantage. CDOT has all the solutions for communications technology, including GPRS, Wi-Fi, LoRa, 6LoWPAN, radio frequency. All these technologies, hardware is being manufactured by their large manufacturing partners like ITI. As far as standardization is concerned, TEC, TSDSA, and Bureau of Indian Standards have got a consensus now for standardizing 1M2M. CDOT has multiple urban utility providers as their partner for 1M2M program. One of them is us. We are their partners for fire protection systems. ITI has fortunately started a big data center business. They want to expand the footprint on the data center business, and they want to monetize it in a big way. Legendary CDOT and ITI together can form a formidable brand for the 100 SMEs to piggyback on. CDOT and ITI can monetize it in a very big way by creation of a soft, non-monopolistic power with the help of this 100, 150 MSMEs who will be domain experts in various urban utility management systems. With so many things that have come together for us, it is just a matter of will and implementation that we create the global urban utility solutions leader. ITI can be represented as this entity. It is just a matter of putting things together and going forward. So the strategy I propose is to let end-to-end Indian brands ride on the ITI brand through their testing, certification, and manufacturing tie-ups. Now, when we say end-to-end Indian brand, and Ola is not an end-to-end Indian brand because, okay, Ola might have been front-ended by a Indian person, but then the funding and the shareholding are all like widely varying, and it is mostly foreign funded currently. So it is no more an Indian company as such. What happens is when we set up a conglomerate with or a consortium with companies like CDOT and ITI playing major roles, these Indian MSMEs who are going to be the supporting units to this consortium will have least chance of getting sold out, or we can even put a precondition that they cannot be sold out, because after doing all this, if these companies are sold out, they no more get money for the country. So the strategy is like this: through ITI, we provide the standardization, certification, and all the other thing which go to build a brand, superior designs, etc. Then provide funding, training, national and international certifications for these 50, 60 companies which are going to piggyback, and provide demand through standardization. Through BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard, and National Building Code, we make it compulsory that these products need to be adopted. So this makes ITI the Urban Technology Hub differentiator, brings ITI up as an Urban Technology Hub differentiator. So it is not just any other hardware cluster or software cluster or IT cluster. It becomes a specific technology cluster which is present to change the smartness paradigm of cities, of urban utilities in India and worldwide. That will be the christening of this whole hardware park or technology park. So unless we create the demand, we create a product that is fine, but creating a product is not creating the next wave. The next wave will be created when we create a new and a major demand, and we control that wave by controlling the demand, making sure that we supply into that demand, and that is the way to monetize it. So how do we create the answer is through the realty sector. The biggest potential for the next wave is held by the realty sector and the municipalities together. We should fund, incentivize the realty sector for adoption of one M2M technology. Nobody in the world, if we say that all the new upcoming flats in India should have automation, home automation and apartment automation systems, they should have sewage treatment monitoring systems, water treatment monitoring systems, solar heating monitoring systems, so many monitoring systems. Suppose we start saying that we will incentivize, we will give certain incentives, certain tax benefits to real estate companies and to home buyers who go in for such technology. And on the back end, we create this global technology, global urban utilities technology hub in ITI, where there are 50, 100 companies who, along with CDOT, bring in everything in one platter and offer it to the real estate industry. The demand is generated by us, the supply is done by us, and the standardization is done by Bureau of Indian Standards. And the standardization is certified and enforced through the quality certifications of CDOT and ITI, which can do it in that same global hub. So what we do is per the latent demand in the real estate sector and ask them to adopt power consumption monitoring, sewage treatment and water treatment monitoring, carbon footprint monitoring, security surveillance, fire protection monitoring, home automation monitoring, visitor management monitoring, communication, emergency services, senior citizen and children tracking. These are the things that we can ask the real estate, realty sector of the country to. We have the biggest realty sector of the country. Noida, Gurgaon, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore put together would have constructed more real estate in the world than any other people, any other. So that entire latent engineering is available with us. MNCs are not in favor of this market as they want to create monopoly. For an MNC to exist in this space, it needs to have strength in that 50 or 100 urban utility items, and it needs to have one M2M layer, and it needs to have all this standards going in their favor. So they are not very keen on such a model. The advantage of the realty sector is that it's a rapid adopter. The people in the realty sector are very agile and resilient. They adopt new technologies very fast and want to impress their customers. So through CDOT 1M2M approval, BIS approval and consortium accountability process, we control and stabilize and cater to this demand which we create through a BIS standardization. So we become strong internally and then export. We replicate this model at a global level. This is the vision, and this is possible because of the land bank available in ITI and the inherent strength of ITI. If we do not utilize that in the correct way, then there will be no differentiator as far as this ITI Global Tech Hub is. So, as far as the global support is concerned, Europe, Korea, and many other nations are highly supportive of CDOT and India as far as one M2M is concerned, as they see it as an international counterbalance. They are looking forward for such a consortium on which they can rely upon for their future cities. The only one thing that we need to be careful about is to avoid becoming a back-end solution provider. We have to project ourselves strongly as an end-to-end urban utility solutions. As a conclusion, I would like to say that ITI has a very big potential coupled with CDOT and CDAC. CDAC is also CDOT's partner because of the lead that we have taken in the one M2M space. And if we strategize correct, we can create and ride and control the next big wave of the world, and that is urban utilities management and integration. Just a small idea, if every home in India, imagine there are 15 crore homes, and every home in India starts buying 5,000 rupees automation package, the translation into numbers is going to be humongous. And when we get these cities to become when we get these convince these when we are able to get these cities online, we get one-time installation revenue, we also get maintenance revenue and annual maintenance contracts for all these 50 companies and for CDOT and ITI. So this is going to be a long-term revenue. before anybody else takes the lead. We have to take the lead and we have to become the world's strongest player in this space. Uh, this is very much possible, and I can keenly envision this. And India has got the latent energy and the talent to achieve this. We don't have to be worried on the technology side. The only thing is implementing it aggressively. This will be a big job creator. It will give India a brand recognition in the world, which we are lacking as of now. From being the largest exporter of mangoes, we can become the largest exporter of urban technologies. Thank you. Thanks for providing this opportunity again. Thank you very much.